Hey, Bulls and Bears, we've got an interesting one for you today, and some people may say it's a scary one. And I think we can all agree that over the past couple years, especially, we've seen a big increase in tracking and invasion of privacy and ridiculous amounts of spending on track and trace sort of programs. Well, here's another one, and it's buried in the infrastructure bill, and this is a kill switch for all new automobiles by 2026. And this will enable the stopping of the vehicle, the shutdown of the engine. It'll also trace your driving. Now, proponents of this say this is a good thing. It's going to help us, stop bad people, and the police will be able to, just stop a car that's trying to run from the police. So it could be used for good if that's the only thing it's used for. But think of all the other possibilities that it could be used for. What if someone doesn't like what you have said, or they don't like your opinions on certain things? They can go back into all your records and they can see your driving history. Oh, you went 60 miles an hour in a 45 on this date, right? So all of this data that's collected on you, is it going to be used just for good? Well, please let me know what you think, but here's where this comes out of. And this one comes out of hot hardware. Buried in the infrastructure bill is a mandatory backdoor kill switch for your car. There's so many things in this enormous bill that even the people that passed it, it's such a large bill, no one would have actually had the time or the resources to read all this and absorb all this information. But as bits and pieces come out, we're beginning to see a very scary picture of what could be headed into the near future here, especially with all the other things that we've discussed here, like the mileage tax. In a few years, you won't be able to sell gas generators here in California, and gas-powered lawn equipment, for example, that's going to be banned from being sold. And we reported on that a couple months ago. Right now, that wasn't part of this bill, but just different things are happening that's really going to be infringing on a lot of people's ability just to maintain any sort of privacy. And from this article, one of the most concerning things we've heard so far is the revelation that the infrastructure bill includes a measure mandating vehicle backdoor kill switches in every car by 2026. The clause is intended to increase vehicle safety by, quote, passively monitoring the performance of a driver of a motor vehicle to accurately identify whether the driver may be impaired, unquote. And if that sentence doesn't make your hair stand on end, you're not thinking about the implications. All right, and this article continues to spell it out. By 2026, vehicles sold in the US will be required to automatically and silently record various metrics of driver performance and then make a decision, absent of any human oversight, whether the owner will be allowed to use their own vehicle. Even worse, the measure goes on to require that the system be, quote, open to remote access by, quote, authorized third parties at any time. So you're going to be monitored, and it's likely going to be an algorithm that's just going to monitor the car's speed, how fast you're taking off, how fast you're going around corners. And if it senses that you are impaired, then it may just shut your vehicle down or flag your vehicle to authorities. And yes, it'll be able to locate you as well. And things like this are not entirely new to this degree. This isn't the next level, but things like this have been used over the past couple years. We've seen car monitoring and tracking devices being used by insurance companies. For example, there's one called True Lane where you put an app on your phone, and your car insurance company can basically track your speeds, your braking distances, your acceleration, your lane usage, and all those things to try to give you a discount. So you get a discount just for trying it, and then supposedly they get you a better rate if you're considered a good driver after they review all of your metrics. All right, but a kill switch, this is next level type of stuff here. And yes, I will agree that if it's only used for, quote, good, this could be something good. Have you ever watched a police chase and you see this guy getting away and there's a whole bunch of cop cars chasing him, and he's putting other people in danger, he's swerving around traffic, and sometimes they even, cause life-threatening injuries, and you wish they could just stop the car remotely. So yes, if it was only used for something like that, it could be something that was good. But something tells me the more information that's collected by quote unquote authorities, the more they're going to use it against you. All right, just think about this. They could already look into your bank accounts. They know exactly what transactions you're conducting. And, that's a big reason why they don't like people conducting outside of the system or in gold and silver or in other alternative assets or means of exchange, is because they want to be able to watch and see everything that you're doing. All right, and American Faith did a write-up on this, and here's a paragraph that actually caught my attention here that made me think a little bit, and I'll read it verbatim here. Quote, "For example, what if a driver is not drunk but sleepy and the car forces itself to the side of the road before the driver can find a safe place to pull over and rest? Considering that there are no realistic mechanisms to immediately challenge or stop the car from being disabled, drivers will be forced into the dangerous situations without their consent or control." So think about you're driving, let's say a 3 or 4 lane freeway, and you're in one of the middle lanes, and all of a sudden the car just shuts itself down. Maybe because you were driving badly, maybe not. Maybe it was some sort of glitch in the system. And now you can't get to the side of the road, the side of the freeway, and now you've got cars zooming past you or maybe crashing into you 60, 70, 80, 90 miles per hour. All right, I think we can all agree that this could really go south very, very quickly when you look at this type of technology. And even if it is meant to be used for good, and even if it is used only for good, there's always glitches. There always are things that happen. There's always malfunctions, breakdowns. There's always bad people getting a hold of the technology. There's hacks, things like that. All right, so please let me know what you think about this. I think this is another scary part of this future that we're beginning to see, about how everybody's going to be completely under the eye, under the all-seeing eye, right? That we see at the top of the pyramid, basically. And I think that a lot of us here can agree that this is the nanny state on steroids. And think about all the other chips and technology that's causing problems right now with the manufacturing of automobiles. Do we really need more technology, more chips, more electronic devices installed in these vehicles when we're already seeing a huge the chip shortage, for example? Right, so it's another thing to go wrong in the automobile. It's another thing where if they don't have the chips, it's going to cause delays in manufacturing. More things that could break down, and you have to take it into the dealer to get it fixed. It's not something that probably most mechanics, just your neighborhood mechanic, will be able to figure out. So it could be very, very costly, and all kinds of other problems. So please let me know what you think about this. But to me, the future is looking pretty scary. Not to raise any alarms here or make anyone paranoid. But this is the way I see it. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. The car vehicle kill switch. Will it only be used for good and stop drunk drivers and stop people from evading the police? Or is this something very bad that's going to be abused, and it's going to be used to go against people for the wrong reasons? Please let me know. Thanks for being here, folks. Bull Boom Bear Bust. Stay well, stay safe, keep stacking. Bye for now. Peace.